Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to a webinar on polity and governance. I hope I am audible as well as visible. Great, audible and visible. Let's wait for a minute, let others join, and then we'll begin our discussion for the day. We have 7 topics up for discussion today, things that have happened in the recent past. Good evening, everyone. Sham, can a preventive detention person have right to vote? Yes, yes. A person arrested under a PDL has to be given the provisions to vote. That's the exception. Good evening, everyone. Okay, so now in this new year, right, the first ever class on polity and governance, the webinar. Let's hope this year is great for all of you. Those who are going to be appearing for this examination, we'll see some results. And for others, this should be a productive year, right? Let's not waste much time and have a great productive year. Okay. So, Karmyogi Bharat, Mission Karmyogi. It was in news recently because of certain changes made or rather some additions made to Mission Karmyogi. Mission Karmyogi is the National Civil Service Capacity Building Program, right? So, what is this program all about? You know, the real concern that we have been facing over the course of last few decades, has been the training of our civil servants. Now, mind you, when I say civil servants, I mean to say the entire gamut of right from Group A to Group D officers. Don't always consider Group A only as civil servants. Group B, Group C, Group D, they're all civil servants, right? So the training of our civil servants has been a cause of concern, especially training to suit the current needs. And for that purpose only, we have this mission Karmyogi. The idea being to train the civil servants, entire gamut of staff, right from top to bottom, to be trained based on their job roles. So we'll see what changes are there in this mission Karmyogi. Then the next topics that are upcoming are the Bilkis Bano case, right? That has been in news for good reasons now, finally. Then we'll discuss about the a brief on Bangladesh elections, right? And one government scheme launched for school students. We'll also be discussing about, of course, what happened or what transpired yesterday vis-a-vis the decision in Maharashtra by the speaker under the anti-defection law, right? So these are topics lined up. Let's begin now. Mission Karmyogi. I'll give you a brief on what this mission is like, and then we'll discuss what exactly has been the recent addition. So the idea is to train all the civil servants. Now, for that training, there is a body called CBC, Capacity Building Commission. This body called CBC consists of experts in various fields, professionals, and this CBC's task is to do what? The CBC's task is to prepare courses. Courses will be prepared by the CBC. What kind of training is required for what kind of staff? right? And what job roles. So a section officer in, say, a certain department, Ministry of, let's say, Education, needs a different kind of training for his job role, and maybe a clerical staff in some other ministry or department needs a different kind of training. So it's the Capacity Building Commission which will decide on all these training modules. Now, where will these training modules be present? All these training modules are going to be present on a website. That website is known as iGOT Karmyogi platform. GOT stands for Government Online Training, right? So CBC is going to furnish information to this website, iGOT Karmyogi platform, right? Now, once this iGOT Karmyogi platform, which is functioning, is active, you as a civil servant have to go and register yourself on this platform, right? Fill in your details, your job role, current job, etc. And then you will be able to see the entire courses that are available for you, the requirement for you. In case you want a promotion, what kind of training modules should you undertake, etc. So as of now, we have around 29 to 30 lakh people who are already on board. 29 to 30 lakh civil servants are already on board in this iGOT Karmyogi platform. Now, this iGOT, that is Integrated Government Online Training Platform, will have data from CBC. But CBC consists of professionals. We also need something which ensures that the CBC is in touch with the what? With the current needs of the government departments. For that, there will be regular interaction with CSCU. CSCU is the Cabinet Secretary Coordination Unit. Now, this Cabinet Secretary Coordination Unit is basically a group of secretaries, senior most IAS officers in the country. And these senior most IAS officers in the country, they are going to provide some assistance, monitor the progress and the execution of the programs that you will find on the iGOT platform, right? Now, this CSU will comprise of secretaries, that is the topmost IAS officers, and also secretaries in certain ministries, like the Ministry of Home Affairs, because MHA is the cadre controlling authority of all the IPS officers. Similarly, iGOT refers to Integrated Government Online Training. iGOT. This is a website. Okay. This is a website on which all details are going to be present for every civil servant. Now, this CSCU is going to help the CBC in molding their training program to suit the job needs, because secretaries, IAS officers know slightly better on what exactly are those finer details, those finer nuances that are required to train the staff. So it will assist the CBC in making even better training structures, better training modules, right? Then all this is going to be headed by the Prime Minister's Human Resource Council, PM's HRC. This grand body is going to look into all these details. It's like, it will approve and review, overseeing the entire setup. Clear? The PM's HRC, this is what we are referring to. Human Resource Council. This PM's HRC will comprise of what? The Prime Minister, all the union cabinet ministers, the chief ministers, in fact, also eminent national academicians, maybe deans of various colleges, industry leaders, global academicians, etc. Now, every year, we will also have monitoring and evaluation framework. So see, on this iGOT Karmyogi platform, various civil servants will get registered and keep on learning new courses which will improve their functioning, their performance. So data is going to be collected from this iGOT platform. Data. What kind of data? Data on how many civil servants have now undertaking how many modules, which all civil servants are at par with the basic requirements of the job, how many vacancies are there. So overall, what is the health of the civil service in the country? That is the task. So we will actually be collecting data to provide for an annual HR report in the country. Annual human resource report. Right? Apart from this, one more important point, you will also have a Prime Minister's dashboard. Dashboard simply means a website. So that PM's dashboard will be updated on a daily, in fact, real time basis. At any and every point of time, if a single civil servant across the country completes some course, you will find an update that now 29,34,462 people have finished that course. Real time update of data, right? So this is the annual HR report, plus also you will get the national progress card. So it will be like a consolidated performance of all the civil services as a whole every year, right? So we will call that annual civil service report card. Like in your school days, college days, you had a report card. This will be a comprehensive report card, right, of the entire civil service over the course of last 1 year. What has been the contribution of the civil servants? How have they achieved on the parameters that they're expected to perform, etc. So this is going to be an online course, of course, and also slowly and steadily there will be an integration with the offline centers also. In fact, the Capacity Building Commission will also supervise all these offline training centers, right? Be it the Labasna that you have, or the one in Faridabad, or in Chennai, or in Hyderabad, etc. Right? So CBC will take care of all these things, and this is only for civil servants. It is not meant for normal or general public. Are we clear? It is meant for civil servants only, right? So you can log into the iGOT Karmyogi platform, but to you can open the platform website, but to log in into the website, you require government credentials. So once people here will clear the examination, then you will get from Labasna in a mail details of your login credentials. You can log in. And in fact, even before joining Labasna training, the foundation program, you will have to undergo some basic training course on your own online. Okay. This is the basis of the entire structure. And this iGOT Karmyogi platform is going to be self-funded. There is going to be a special purpose vehicle, a government company which will control this iGOT platform, and every civil servant will have to pay some annual fees. So to maintain this website, some annual fees will be charged from all the civil servants. Okay. So this is with respect to the civil services training program. Are you clear? Nothing amongst this is a statutory body. Are we clear on this? It is just a program controlled by the central government and the state governments. Clear? So this is the, yes, it will train the IFS officers, IES officers, section officers, clerical staff, assistant, everybody. They'll make civil services work. They want to train us and we'll pay the fees. Of course. Musarraf, is it mandatory? No, if you don't want promotions, it is not mandate. Simple. Okay. Now, what has happened in the recent times has been that we have made certain changes into it. What changes have been made in the current situation? That is what you need to know. Yes, forest services also. Money charged to aspirants who cleared exam before going to Labasna. Sir, it is 431 rupees only. If that is a huge amount, then yes, of course, it is going to be a challenge, right? Is there some redressal mechanism? What redressal mechanism? Training program. What is the grievance that you have? Somebody has a grievance also already. See, the studies will never be over. Okay? Don't think that once you have entered the job, task is over. That's when the task begins, right? Anyway, so what has happened recently has been that we have this My IGOT. So there have been some personalized training courses added on the GOT platform. Okay. So My IGOT refers to personalized programs based on your job roles, right? This has been added just a few weeks back. Then we also have blended programs. So IGOT Karmyogi blended program, wherein we'll have a mixture of offline and online learning. So some of you were raising this concern that what about offline and online? So now the government has already started the setup that you will have a combined course. Some module, in fact, most modules, you will be trained on what? The online platform. Go to the website. You are sitting in the office. You are free in the office. Don't play Candy Crush. Please log into the IGOT platform and complete some training module, right? It will help you in your promotional examination. Clear? Apart from it, sometimes you'll also have some courses which would require training with respect to some training center. You'll have to go to the training center for 5 days, 7 days, etc., and get trained there, right? So this is the blended program. Then we have also added curated programs. Curated programs are the tailor-made programs wherein the course providers will create content which is specific to the needs of ministries, departments, etc. So curated are the tailored programs that have been added for specific ministries. So see, every ministerial job has a different expectation from the civil servant there. If you are a clerical staff, or if you're an IAS officer also, let's say an additional secretary or a joint secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, the expectation from you is vastly different compared to you being an IAS officer as a district magistrate somewhere, right? So for every ministry, we'll have different specific ministries, meaning separate ministries, right? For specific ministries, specific kind of programs will be there. Yes, currently every civil servant, state and center, they will be trained under this mission Karmyogi. That is the original target, but we are going to go about it slowly and steadily, one by one. Okay. Now, apart from it, we have also 12 domain specific capacity building learning courses that have been added, right? So this was done a few months back also, wherein the civil servants were to be trained on certain domains, certain areas which relate to their job roles, right? So the idea constantly is going to be what? The idea constantly is going to be train as per the requirement. So some of you are constantly making the statement that, sir, this will not be a very realistic thing. It's more theory. Not really. It is not going to be all theory, because why I tell you is, consistently the CBC, the Capacity Building Commission's target is to ensure that the training programs are as realistic as possible. It won't be the case that, in our college days we are taught something else, and when you have to get a job, the job demands are completely something different. That will not be the case here, right? So you'll be trained on things which you need in the job. Are we clear on this? So please don't feel that it is going to be completely theory. It has got a healthy mix of practicality as well, where your actual job performance will improve. Okay. So this is with respect to the programs. And now we have the new system called Vikas. This is actually Vikas. This government loves abbreviations, right? Vikas. Variable and immersive Karmyogi advanced support. Vikas. See, Vikas is a new blended learning program. It is meant for the capacity building of the middle management civil servants in the Kendriya Sachivalaya. So this Vikas is meant for Central Secretariat officers, wherein the Central Secretariat officers are going to be trained in certain modules. So as of now, Vikas has been added to my IGOT platform, where I think around 30 hours of training is being provided offline, and 33 hours of online training will be provided to all the civil servants at the middle management level in the Kendriya Sachivalaya Central Secretariat, which is located in Delhi. Right? So this is with respect to your entire program. Central Secretariat, Kendriya Sachivalaya. So people who are living in a city, would you, you would know that there is something called a secretariat in your city. What is the task of a secretariat? The task is administrative paperwork, right? So the central government's paperwork is dealt with by the central secretariat. There you will have IAS officers sitting there, clerical staff sitting there, peon, safai karmcharis, daftaris, etc. sitting there, right? So this Vikas, Vikas, this Vikas is going to be the training program for those officers. So Vikas was launched recently as an addition, and then we have added more programs to IGOT platform. Now currently the IGOT platform comprises of around 858 or 59. So roughly 850 plus programs are there. And these programs are on something as basic as soft skills, customer relationship, right? Or fighting depression. Apparently even the civil servants get depressed, right? Maybe they don't get the bribe on time, so they get depressed. Maybe they don't are not able to perform on time, so they get depressed. That's also there. So that also happens. So of course, right, that's possible. So the idea being drafting of letters, how to draft a letter, etc. Training on RTI module, right? What is a tenure of training? Lifetime training. There is no tenure of training now. It's lifetime training. No, Prem Kumar, there is no relationship. This training module started, the idea was launched in 2020 only, right? It is now that we are doing this on the ground. So it has got no relationship. Sir, don't you feel civil servants will be busy taking up these training modules for promotion and on field they might not work? See, the idea being these training modules will only help the civil servants in improving their performance on field, right? And how will it affect promotions? It will affect promotions with respect to when you have, see, let's say you are a joint secretary and you want to move to the next level, which is an additional secretary. So there can be requirement that if you want to be eligible for the next level of promotion, you'll have to go through these 8 different modules, 24-hour course. Please mug up those courses, watch the video, and take the examination, score above 80% marks. I'm just giving an example. And then only will you be eligible for the promotion. This kind of situation. When the access is only for civil servants, how do we know that I know I have people who are accessing it, and I have seen the training program. So yes, it is meant for the civil servants. Anyway, okay. So this is the recent initiative, and as our PM says, Mission Karmyogi is a new experiment of its kind in the direction of capacity building. What is capacity building? I hope some of you would know. Capacity building means training. If you want to keep it simple, call it training. If you want to impress people, use the word capacity building. Like I say that kids call training, legends call it capacity building, right? When you go to Labasna, you are not trained. Your capacity is being built to harass the public. I mean, to work for the public. Through this mission, the government employees have to modernize their thinking approach and improve their skill set. It is to give them an opportunity to become a karm yogi, right? So, karm yogi, sir, why don't they suggest this type of program to MPs, MLAs, ministers? MPs, MLAs, ministers need no training. They're already trained in having debates on caste and religion, right? No, this is not just a procedure for promotion. This is a procedure to improve the performance. We want people to improve the performance of civil servants. And this Karm Yogi was officially launched in 2020 only, though it is now that we are witnessing the changes in the courses, course additions consistently, etc. Okay. Okay. So just a practice question, mains practice question for you. Continuous training and capacity building of civil servants plays a crucial role in the effective administration and governance of a country. Discuss. Simple, basic, because this topic is largely for is a mains oriented topic, so a mains practice question from it. So continuous training and capacity building of civil servants plays a crucial role in the effective administration and governance of a country, right? So how do you mention points? You can start by talking about how continuous training, capacity building of civil servants is indispensable for the effective administration, right? In this, era marked by rapid technological advancements, globalization, changing socio-economic conditions, the role of civil servants transcends the traditional boundaries. It requires you to have dynamic skill set, updating yourself with information, right? And that is why you need continuous training. Very, very important, right? See, civil servants are the backbone of a country's administration, playing a very important role in policy formulation, implementation, providing essential public services. And their decisions have a direct impact on the lives of people, right? So training has to be continuous. Then you also need to adapt to new challenges, because with the changing times, the nature of civil services or the public administration has also changed. I mean, look at the issues now: climate change, cyber security threats, economic volatility, right? Public health crisis like COVID-19. These have required civil servants to have specialized knowledge adaptive skills, right? So of course we need to keep on updating ourselves. So enhancing skill, that's also there, a very very important element. Then fostering innovation and creativity. So we want our civil servants to be innovative. So I'm sure the people sitting here, a lot of you are highly innovative with the kind of innovative questions you ask, at least, right? Extremely innovative, right? Then we also need to build in accountability, transparency, all such things. So we mention all these points and then also talk about the way forward. We need to have customized training programs, tailor made to suit the needs of different job roles, incorporating technology, right? Focusing on practical application, feedback mechanism. That's very important because we need to have a proper feedback mechanism, or else the performance evaluation will never be complete. Then we also need international exposure, right? International exposure is very very important. Providing opportunities for international exposure, learning from the global best practices. It can also broaden the perspective of civil servants, and in fact a lot of job roles require you to travel outside the country to train, etc., all at the cost of taxpayers money, right? This is today's motivation: clear the exam at the cost of taxpayers money, travel across the country, right? Okay, that's it for Mission Karmyogi and the new addition of programs like Vikas into the scheme of things. Mission Karmyogi, variable and immersive Karmyogi advanced support, Vikas. Okay, now very very important and very crucial case. Supreme Court finally has given a judgment in the Bilkis Yaqub Rasool case. In the news, you'd refer this to popularly as the Bilkis Bano case, right? And versus Union of India 2024. See, the entire story of how things transpired. So, at the height of this infamous Gujarat riots back in the year 2002, Bilkis Bano and her family had fled her home, and while they were traveling, they were ambushed by an armed mob, and men gang raped and also murdered 7 members of the family, including her infant daughter. Right. So she initially approached the local police to file a complaint. When this happened, the police did not cooperate at all. In fact, when she wanted to file a complaint, the police deliberately excluded the names of many of the assailants who were locally influential people. Then she approached NHRC, the Human Rights Commission. Human Rights Commission took the matter to Supreme Court. Supreme Court ordered CBI to start an inquiry. Then the matter went to CBI. Now, the initial case was filed in the trial court, in the local court in Ahmedabad. But again, there was some problem vis-a-vis the influence of those local people there, right? So the concern was that the local people were trying to threaten her. She was receiving death threats, and hence again the Supreme Court transferred the case to Bombay. I mean the special CBI court in Mumbai, and then the matter took place. The case was continued in Maharashtra. Okay. Finally, in the year 2008, the special court convicted 11 people and sentenced them to life imprisonment for raping Bilkis Bano and murdering 7 of her family members. Right. There were 20 people in total. Some of them uh, had to be acquitted because of lack of evidence. That was there. Then transpired an interesting situation. Of course, Bombay High Court also finally in May 2017 gave a judgment upholding the life imprisonment of those 11 convicts. In fact, you'll be surprised to know that the National Commission for Women, it had in its report said that no sexual tortures or atrocities have been committed in the Gujarat riots, which is very surprising because in 2019 Supreme Court ordered right? Supreme Court ordered the Gujarat government to pay a compensation. So this also brings to light the importance of NCW. Anyway, then came the month of March 2022. One Radheshyam Bhagwan Das Shah, he approached Supreme Court seeking remission of his sentence. Remission meaning reducing the period of punishment. Remission, when your tenure of punishment is reduced. So let's say you are undergoing some kind of jail sentence, 40 years of jail sentence, life imprisonment. So you seek remission to reduce the period of punishment. This fellow went to Supreme Court. He claimed that Gujarat state government is where I am arrested. Gujarat state government has to show remission. But Gujarat government said, no, no, you are punished in Maharashtra, you go to Maharashtra. So this matter went to Supreme Court, that they are confusing me. Should I complain to Maharashtra or to Gujarat government? Where should I approach for remission? That's what the convict said. So finally, the Supreme Court said that no, not Maharashtra, but please approach Gujarat. Gujarat government, you go to Gujarat government, file a petition there and seek remission because you are very guilty of the crime you committed. So seek remission. And on the 15th of August, I mean, there are certain days which should be reserved for respect and upholding dignity of the country and the people of the country. But sadly, on this day, as a part of Gujarat's remission policy, all these 11 people were released from the jail. Remission was shown, and their entire punishment, which was a life imprisonment, was reduced to 14 years. In fact, this is the minimum period of punishment that you have to undergo, right? So if somebody is serving a life sentence, state government or the central government also has a part to reduce your punishment, but it cannot reduce it below 14 years. So from 2008 to 22, exactly 14 years. Now, of course, when this remission was shown, a lot of people criticized this. And if you remember, this is the image. These are people who were actually involved in this gruesome activity. So these are the rape convicts. The local VHP office invited these people, garlanded them, right? Garlanded them as if it's some achievement. So the idea being that there could be a religious divide in the country. You may have a difference of opinion, but it should not ever result in trivializing issues along the lines of religion, right? The rape survivor was not a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian. She was a rape survivor, a daughter of this country, right? And that is why these incidents keep on happening over and over and over again, because of such activities only, right? Because of such leniency shown. Yes, of course, India minimizes the use of capital punishment, death sentence, but there should be basic dignity. Such people who were guilty of such gory crimes, they should not have been let off so easily. That's also there. And then there's something called water boundary. So people, when they were left out of jail, so the people who were supporting them were saying, "Did you also punish with equal punishment the rapists in the Ajmer case?" I mean, come on. It is called water boundary. If something wrong has happened somewhere, it does not justify other wrongs. But anyway, so PIL was filed finally, right? Uh, CPI leader Subhashini Ali, Rooprekha Verma, all these people approached the court, filed a PIL. Then finally, on the 12th of October, Bilkis Banu initially moved to the court. In fact, Bilkis Banu initially wanted the remission to be heard by Maharashtra government, not Gujarat government. But that was dismissed, that no, Gujarat government is the correct authority. Later on, once these convicts were released, she had approached the court that the convicts' release is affecting the conscience of the society. It is sending a wrong message to society. So finally, Supreme Court started the hearing in the case, and on 12th of October, after the hearing was complete, Supreme Court reserved the judgment, and just a few days back, Supreme Court quashed a remission given to all the 11 convicts, saying that the orders were stereotyped. Basically, the idea being that when you are showing remission, you have to look into every convict's behavior, what has been his role, how has he responded during the jail period, has he shown guilt, remorse, etc. Nothing of this sort was done. There was no conclusive study done on whether these people had actually shown remorse or not. It was like some kind of clerical letter typed, cut, copy, paste, all 11 released from jail, as if the target was to release these people. That can never be the target, because the real problem is, if you show remission so loosely, it sends a very wrong message to society. So this was the situation, and the Supreme Court has directed that within 14 days all those people go back to jail, right? I mean, the court said very clearly that the Gujarat government was incorrect in authority in granting remission to these men. Just to think along these lines also, the petitioner Bilkis Banu, her mother was gang raped and murdered. Her cousin, who had just delivered a baby, was also gang raped and murdered. 8 minors, including petitioner's cousin's 2-day-old infant, was murdered. Petitioner's 3-year-old daughter was murdered by smashing her head on a rock. Her 2 minor brothers, 2 minor sisters, uncles, aunts, 3 cousins, all were murdered. And you still want to show remission to those convicts? How is it justified? Right? So, sadly, we need to also ensure that justice prevails. Right? Uh, Life imprisonment means till the natural end of your life. That is called life imprisonment. So this has been the judgment which brings to us the context. The context is the topic mercy petitions. So mercy petitions can be shown by the president under Article 72 and the governor under Article 161. That is separate. Mercy petitions like pardon, when the person is free to go, absolved of all the guilt. Then we have commutation. Commutation is a unique kind of petition, mercy, which is shown wherein the nature of punishment is modified. So if you are given a death sentence, you apply for commutation, it can be changed to a jail sentence. That's called commutation. Then you have remission. I just mentioned what is remission. Remission refers to reducing the period of punishment. Okay. Respite. So respite is a mercy shown where for a small period of time you are given a lesser punishment. It could be because of health issues, it could be because of some injury in the jail. So maybe in the jail you are also expected to perform some jail duty. But what has happened is that you are now very sick, pneumonia, jaundice. You can't perform those duties. So for a temporary period, you will be kept in the hospital. I hope you understand that if you have ever observed this, whenever any politician gets arrested, he will immediately start having high BP, sugar level high increases, diabetes problem, thyroid problem, hypertension. Otherwise, he's okay. But when the police comes to arrest them, they have all these problems. So they are taken to the hospital. And the hospital is 100 times better as a place than the jail. So some of you may go to jail in future. I mean, for good reasons, like through an IPS officer, not go to jail. So you can very well see what the condition of jails are, right? So that's how. Now, lastly, we also have something called reprieve. Reprieve simply means when you apply for clemency. When you apply for clemency, the president or the governor needs some time to go through your case, right? Let's say you have been given death sentence, and within 14 days you have to be hanged till death. Now, the president may not have, 14 days are never sufficient for the president to look into all these matters of why the court found you guilty, etc. So, reprieve is a stay order on the execution of punishment. The punishment is not executed. Okay. The president or the governor decides whether to show mercy or not, and once he has decided, then the punishment is performed. Clear? Yes, respite is temporary in nature. There are a couple of points, like one thing is governor cannot pardon a death sentence. Governor can only commute a death sentence, right? Pardoning power of death sentence is with the president only. Are we clear? Though, one very crucial factor, governor can commute a death sentence and the very next day pardon the person. That is possible. But directly he cannot pardon a death sentence convict. Now, remission is also shown by governments, state government or central government. Section 432 and 433A of the CRPC. So, in the new Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, in the new BNSS, which is yet to be notified, this 432 has become 474 and 433A is 476. But a very, very important point. Please understand. This 433A says that if any person had been given death sentence, which was later on changed to a life imprisonment, okay, then if you want to show remission to this person, meaning if you want to reduce their period of jail sentence, it can only be done after how many years? 14 years. Clear? So, after 14 years, can the government show remission? This kind of limitation is not there on the president and governor. I'll repeat once again. Please hear me carefully. Don't look at your mobile, YouTube shorts here and there. Don't watch the match and all. Focus. Whenever the government wants to show remission, meaning reduce your punishment period, it can do so. But if you are serving a life imprisonment, meaning jail till the end of your natural life, then the punishment can be reduced to minimum 14 years only, not less than that. So you have to be in jail for at least 14 years, okay, vis-a-vis the central or state government remission. But governors and presidents, they can reduce your punishment to any point. They can reduce it to even 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute, no problem. State government and central government, I am repeating this, hear me out, open your ears please. Central or state government, both, clear, can show it. This is the context, Article 72, Article 161. So, in the case of Bilkis Bano, the convicts used this remission, okay? Did not approach the governor and president, but used the remission from the state government. Okay, that's it. Remission by government means the home department. Okay, yes, it's a discretionary power. State government will have discretionary power only. Shiva sir, how can government order clemency? Sir, I am telling you, according to this section, they can order clemency. What kind of logic is this? Because the law says so. Okay, please solve this prelims question. I will launch a poll and 1 minute of time. Go through it. Mark the answer. A lot of you got this correct. That's great. Remission basically means reducing the period of punishment, and reprieve means temporary stay on the execution of sentence. Respite is actually correct. Awarding a lesser sentence is called respite. So how many statements are correctly defined? Only one. Others, I don't know how they mark two. Revisions not going on at all. Exam in 4-5 months, and we are getting confused on basic definitions only. Amazing. Great performance. Let's move on to a mains practice question. Examine the importance of clemency provisions in the Indian judicial system. Analyze how these provisions uphold the principles of justice and mercy, and discuss the potential for their misuse. And then substantiate your arguments with relevant examples. Simple question. In the intro, talk about the concept of clemency in the country, right? Mention Article 72, Article 161. Intro has to be about the clemency or mercy provisions, right? Mention the relevant articles. Don't forget the articles. Then clemency means mercy. Then discuss the importance of clemency provisions in the body. Talk about the importance. Humanitarian aspect of clemency is there, right? Instrument of mercy, etc. It is used to correct judicial errors. Pooja, I just explained clemency, all the 5 words, right? So if we keep on explaining this only, I was expecting that you know a lot of things, basic information. But for some of you, it seems that this is the very first class they are taking on polity. Is that the case for some of you? Because then this is going to be a challenge. Because if you ask me who is the president, who is the prime minister, what are all these people doing here in the country, then that will be because some questions are like that only. Anyway, so in the body talk about importance, as I said, highlighting the role of clemency, right? Clemency is required to correct judicial errors also, providing relief in wrongful conviction, undue harassment. Sometimes some laws are very harsh. Judges can give a harsh punishment for all those things. Then mention how clemency is also upholding the principle of benevolence in justice, right? It is very important to have mercy, and because see, the idea is never to punish people. The idea is what? Reform. That's a central idea. But if somebody is beyond reform, then what can we do, right? So that is an extreme situation, but for most cases the idea is always to reform the convict. But sadly that will not happen in the jail, because in our country jails are not meant for reform. Jails are meant to train people. You enter as a noob kid, come out as a legend, new big criminal learning new tricks of the trade. That's what the jail is, sadly, in our country. But anyway, then we can mention things like potential for misuse possible, like in the case of Bilkis Bano only, right? That was a classic example of misuse, right? There could be political bias, there could be um, decisions made on religious grounds, caste grounds. Sometimes too much of delay also happens, right? If you remember 2014, a question was asked on the Shatrughan Chauhan judgment only. So mention those things. So, and also mention how we need to balance mercy and justice. Balance mercy and justice. So that needs to be balanced, because see, mercy can be shown, but you have to also understand the limit of mercy. See, just to give an example for those who remember the Nirbhaya case, I mean, the case kept on dragging on and on because the convicts used to keep on filing some mercy petition. See, one of the convict committed suicide, but the others, except the juvenile, they kept the case on and on because they kept on filing for some mercy petition. Now, uh, some of you would only know it through stories, but at that point of time, there was a documentary released by BBC, India's Daughter. It was banned immediately, right? Because it showed the country in very poor light. Because the point is, if you show the face of the government to the government, they don't like it. You have to only appreciate the governments. Governments don't like seeing their poor performance. So anyway, that documentary was banned. In that documentary, the persons involved, at least one of them, he was being interviewed. He said of all the things that were being committed on that girl. So how can people who have committed such gory crime be let off so easily? But that's there. So the balance is very important. When to show mercy and when to ensure justice, right? And finally, give some examples. You can quote names, the Nirbhaya case, right? You can quote names of the Bilkis Banu example. So names can be quoted. There is no harm at all in quoting these names. Not at all a problem. Yes, Delhi Crime was a series based on it. But if you ever had a chance to see the documentary, it is shocking to say the least. And the language used by the convict, who had no remorse at all, no remorse at all, right? Even the lawyers, in fact, the convict kept on saying that since the girl was roaming out in the evening at 8 o'clock with a unknown male person, they had some kind of right to correct her behavior, right? So this is what it has come down to: moral policing, right? Anyway, so this is a case with respect to mercy petitions. Now coming to So if a convict only has life imprisonment, then also state have to wait for 14 years to remit their sentence. So only have to no. Even for life imprisonment, Vrutika. Deepika, yes. The Gujarat's new remission policy says that if you have committed a heinous crime, you will not be able to, you will not be considered for clemency. 755 Shiva. Rule of law, not for this class, Pulkit. It would take the class completely away. No, Surya, this is not double jeopardy. Why double punishment? The judgment has been the order of remission has been cancelled. So they are back to jail. Simple. So, but this is not binding on court order. Court re-suggests the governor or president to think of their order of court is not satisfied by both. Bhagat, you please rephrase this. I don't understand. Ambesh, remission has no such difference except the fact that governor and president's remission has no limit. You can reduce it to in one day. Okay. Now let's move on to the next topic. Moving on quickly to NALSA, National Legal Services Authority. This topic was under discussion because of certain appointments. Now, see, I cannot explain what is capital punishment. Capital punishment means death sentence. When you kill somebody, that's it. What is it to explain here? Guys, if you could focus on the class, it would be great. Rather than asking me questions on Ram temple, etc. Right? Not for the class relevance. Maybe when we have some discussion on secularism, then we can have a more informed discussion. And I would request all of you not to fall prey to such things. You are not just for the class, in general also going to be preparing for the civil services, right? So don't be an activist right now. Anyway, most media reports are completely biased. Collect facts, have your own opinion, right? We have two types of media, left and right, and both are completely biased. So we have to ensure that we develop our own opinion and focus on the examination, relevance for the examination. Anyway, so NALSA was in news recently. Why? Because we have had some appointments recently. So Justice Sanjeev Khanna was appointed the chairperson of NALSA. So who is the executive chairperson of NALSA? It is always going to be the second senior most Supreme Court judge. Why? Because the senior most Supreme Court judge, who is a CJI, is the patron in chief of NALSA, the head of NALSA. But the actual functionary is the senior most Supreme Court judge after Chief Justice. Now, NALSA is a body which was formed in the pursuance of Article 39 capital A. So, for those who have no idea, this is an article under DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy. Directive Principles of State Policy 39A state that there will be equal justice and free legal aid. The state shall secure that the operation of legal system promotes justice on the basis of equal opportunity and shall in particular uh, provide free legal aid by suitable laws or schemes or programs to ensure that opportunities for securing justice are not denied to any citizen. So the idea is free legal aid to the marginalized sections of the society. Clear? For that, a law was made called Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. Legal Services Authorities Act, under which a body was formed called NALSA, National Legal Service Authority. This is what is NALSA. Clear? Now, NALSA is this grand body, and this is a nationwide framework. NALSA, under which you have SALSA. SALSA stands for State Legal Service Authority. Under that, you have DALSA, District Legal Service Authority. And then you have not TALSA, TLSC, Taluk Legal Service Committee. Okay, so this is the entire structure of NALSA. Now, what is a task of this entire structure? The task is providing free legal aid to the poor people. When you file a court case, what all things are required? For a poor person, you firstly need some court fees, money is required. So, NALSA, SALSA, DALSA, TLSC, they also pay the court fees on your behalf to file a case, court fees. Then you also need some advocate to fight a case. So they also provide you with legal service of lawyers. Then sometimes you also need some documents, getting certified copies of judgments, legal orders, etc. Getting court order copy, that requires some money. So NALSA, SALSA, DALSA, they give you that also. And if you want to further appeal in a higher court, they help you in appealing also. Printing cost, preparation of appeal, translation, it's every cost involved in filing a case. It's all taken care of by the NALSA. NALSA is funded by the government. The government of India provides the money, and lot of these lawyers work pro bono, free of cost. Okay, so just to tell you, we have roughly, I mean, not the exact number, but around over 50,000 lawyers working with NALSA, SALSA, DALSA, TLSC, right? Apart from that, there are 44 to 45,000 volunteers working for this entire structure. Now, if your case goes to Supreme Court, Supreme Court has a separate body called Supreme Court Legal Service Committee. This body helps those people whose cases are stuck in the Supreme Court and are poor, marginalized people. That's the task. Okay, SCLSC. And Justice B.R. Gavai, who is the third senior most judge, he is now the chairman of the Supreme Court Legal Service Committee. So in case your case gets stuck in the Supreme Court and you need some kind of help, then you can approach the Legal Service Committee. They can provide you with any and every kind of help, condition being you should be eligible, right? So the idea is that it is only meant for eligible people. I hope you are aware that the free legal service is only provided to certain types of beneficiaries like women and children, all women and children, irrespective of your income, etc. Like just in 2021, 2.2 crore women got the help of NALSA, SALSA, DLSC, and DALSA and TLSCs. 2.5 crore children got the benefit almost 5 crores. Then SC/ST, free of cost. Okay. Then in certain places like in Delhi, transgenders whose annual income is less than 2 lakhs, free of cost, approach the body. Industrial workmen, right? Victims of droughts, earthquakes, etc. Disabled people, people in police custody, people whose annual income does not exceed 1 lakh rupees, then victims of human trafficking, all such people. In fact, in some places like in Delhi, if you are a senior citizen who's earning less than 2 lakh rupees, then you can get the benefit of getting free legal aid. Clear? So this is the structure of NALSA, providing free legal service to various categories of people. Apart from this, they also conduct lot of workshops, seminars, etc. In fact, they also organize legal awareness camps. Just in 2021-22, they organized somewhere close to 11.34 lakh programs across the country, right? Then they also keep on filing court cases, right? uh, like in 2014, it was a NALSA judgment on transgenders rights, which paved way for us to recognize transgenders as a third gender. Or it was NALSA which had filed a case ensuring that the courts interfere, ordering the governments to protect the widows in Vrindavan. So these things are there. Okay. This is a UPSC based question. Solve this question. Let me know what is the answer. I'll give you 30 seconds to mark the answer. Not more than that. Or take 45 seconds, no problem. Shyam, quality of judgment may not really matter, but quality of legal help, we can't question the quality of legal help. I mean, there is no exam for the advocate. Lot of top lawyers also work free of cost with them. So that's there. I mean, it's just your luck factor, what kind of lawyer you get. So that's there. Okay, great. A lot of you have marked this correct. Absolutely correct. Person with annual income less than 1 lakh provided. Transgenders, of course, 1 and 2 only. Nothing for OBCs. All senior citizen. Come on. Rajnikant is a senior citizen. He does not need any Nalsa Salsa. So these two are wrong. We also have a question asked in 23 only. Will they help out for family issues? If you are a woman who is suffering some kind of domestic abuse, etc., of course, yes. Otherwise, no. Yes, yes, Musharraf. All women and children, all SCs, all STs can access NALSA, SALSA, DALSA, TLSC without any income criteria, regardless of the money you make every year. Okay. Question asked in the main examination last year only. Very simple, straightforward. Who are entitled to receive free legal aid? Assess the role of NALSA. So, straightforward question, right? So, the idea being that NALSA provides for free legal aid to the weaker sections, right? And the bigger concern is that you have to remember which kind of which category is provided this kind of help. That is very important. Otherwise, you will end up writing nothing. So we should know the basic categorization: women, children, etc., the categories, and also their role, like monitoring and coordination, legal literacy, awareness campaigns, filing cases in court, providing legal help to people, lawyers, court fees, research, advocacy, various things are there, right? So that's with respect to the NALSA. Need to remember SALSA, DALSA, TLSC. There is not one SALSA, right? So you cannot remember the name of the chairpersons of SALSA, TLSC, DALSA, etc. That will not be possible, right? We have SALSA, DALSA across the country. How can you remember the name of all those people? It is not practically feasible only. Yes, yes, you can write 39A in your answer. Don't worry. Okay. Now coming to just a piece of information for you, the Bihar caste-based quota reservation. Now we have seen that there has been an increase in the reservation matrix in Bihar from 50% to 65%. Caste-based reservation plus, of course, you already have the 10% economically weaker section reservation that is there already, which is a government mandate, right? So total reservation in Bihar has gone to 75%. Okay, so total now is 75%. This is the current reservation matrix in Bihar. It is now backward classes 18 per the OBC 18%. This was earlier. I'll write earlier ones in bracket here so that you know it was 12%. Extremely backward classes, it was earlier 18%. Now it has increased to 25. Percentage is not important, don't worry. Scheduled caste was 16%, now it is 20%. ST is 1% earlier. Bihar does not really have lot of ST population, right? Then economically weaker section, this is a constitutional mandate, right? As per 103rd Amendment Act, Article 15 and Article 16, Clause 6. So this is separate. Apart from it, this has been the current situation, right? This was done uh, after the SECC, Socio-Economic Caste Census Survey result, where the survey result came out, and the government said that we want to give reservation to the communities based on their population percentage. So if you are in the total population, you are a certain percentage, then that much reservation should be given to the community, right? So based on that only is the reservation. So for example, we in the OBCs in Bihar are 27.13%. Then EBCs are almost 36.01%, right? Then scheduled caste people are 19.65%, 19.7%, and scheduled tribe people are 1.68%. So this is the current situation. Percentage is not required. Don't remember it, please. Now, what is the concern? I hope you know very well the concern: possible violation of which judgment? Indra Sahni case of 1992. Great. A lot of you are fully aware of this Indra Sahni case, Mandal case. It's the same thing, no difference. Indra Sahni judgment of 1992, where Supreme Court said that the reservation should be limited to only 50%. If you cross 50%, there will be judicial review. So there is a small misconception that reservation cannot cross 50%. No, it can cross 50%. But if it crosses 50%, judiciary will check. So petitions have already been filed against this reservation. Let's see what happens. As of now, no party is against this primarily. Vote bank politics is very important. Though some parties, like say the BJP, etc., have claimed that this survey data on which it is based has some discrepancies. Now, this again is a statement where there is no evidence to prove this. Though at the ground level, data collection might have been faulty. That's possible, right? But again, we need concrete evidence to prove that data collection was faulty. Anyway, and otherwise also, the OBC population in the country, across the country, is way more than 50%. It is somewhere in this zone. Even the very old Hutton committee had said the same thing, that the OBC population is over 52%. In fact, the National Sample Survey Organization says the same thing. The Mandal Commission report said the same thing. So, yes. And one more allegation has been that the country is already facing a caste divide. When you provide such reservations, you are further entrenching, meaning deepening the existing caste divide. But the idea has been that reservations are required to tide over historical injustice meted out to a lot of people. It is also required to ensure a sense of equality in matters of public employment, right? So these things are the ones why we need reservations or affirmative action. And frankly, India is not the only country. Don't ever feel that India is the only country which has reservation. There are other countries which have reservation, right? Similar kind of reservation is there. Then uh, the Congress party, in fact, has also said that once it comes to power, I mean, if they come to power, I mean, they may come to power, it's possible. If they come to power, then they will remove the ceiling limit of 50% through a law, allowing the states to freely cross the 50% limit without any judicial review. This is what the Congress has said. Okay. Anyway, so this is the current situation. As far as the problem is concerned, the problem with respect to this data collection, this is beyond our control because we have no way to certify or verify the data collection. So the Bihar government knows very well whether the data has been correct or not. Okay, so this is something that you should be aware of. So then 100% revision will be there on states. I mean, see, it's possible. I mean, the idea is that the politicians rely on reservation for vote bank politics. They don't really rely on that to improve the lives of people, sadly, right? Okay. See, if any state wants to cross the reservation limit, center will approve it, right? In the case of Bihar, it is yet to be approved. We'll see what happens. Petition is already pending in the court. In the case of Tamil Nadu, which has 69% reservation, it was approved by center also, and hence approved by Supreme Court also, and hence it continues. In Bihar, whether it will continue or not, only time will decide, or rather, Supreme Court will decide. Okay. Please solve this question. Very easy question asked last year only. Right? Mark the answer. Simple question, nothing complicated at all. EWS is the economically weaker section and EBC is the extremely backward classes. There's a separate category under backward classes who are more backward, extremely backward classes. Okay. So Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that the reservation policies under this article shall be limited by Article 335 is actually correct. This was the Indira Sahni judgment. Article 335 defines efficiency of administration. There is no such definition of efficiency of administration. C is the right answer. Now I'll tell you basically briefly what this means. Article 335 says that reservation to SCs and STs will be provided, but there is a small catch. When you provide reservation to SCs, STs, please don't compromise with the standards of efficiency of administration. Meaning, don't hire any random person. That is the purpose, right? This Article 335 said that even if you want to provide reservation, please do not, or please rather ensure that the administration works smoothly. There should not be any ill effect on government's functioning. But later on, the parliament modified the article and said that no, no, no. We are going to provide reservation to SC/STs in jobs and in promotions. And for that, if we have to lower the cutoff marks, if we have to even change the evaluation standards, we are going to be what? We are going to be doing all that to ensure reservation is provided. Okay. There is a mains practice question, a very interesting one I tried to come up with. Critically examine the efficiency of reservation as a sole, right? The only tool for empowerment and discuss additional measures that could be implemented to achieve the holistic, meaning overall holistic upliftment of the marginalized sections. So, simple question talking about, see, reservations are important, but are they the sole criteria? Of course not. So, in the introduction, talk about how we have reservation in government jobs, what's the purpose, etc. Analyze the efficiency, the success, limitations in social justice, upliftment, etc. How it is bridging the gap, the socio-economic disparities have come down. Then also mention the need for additional measures. Reservation cannot be the sole metric to improve the lives of people. We have to provide for educational upliftment, skill development, financial inclusion, health support, nutrition support, social awareness programs, scholarships, etc. Right? And public policy is very important. Holistic upliftment, overall upliftment, right? All round development. And then Shyam, sir, why not government provide reservation based on economic situation only, not on caste? See, Shyam and others, in our polity classes, we have had a long discussion on the reservation on caste reasons, right? So if you remember the class discussions, great. Otherwise, you'll have to see the class discussions. And those who have taken my class would know we have devoted a lot of time giving multiple examples on atrocities, etc., that are still being committed, right? So that is a gone story. It was 2.5, 3 hours of comprehensive discussion on that. Relevant examples of reservation policy across the country, in other countries also, in South Africa, in Australia, in USA, right? In our country also, various examples can be given of reservations. Okay, so that's it. Now, just a small piece of information. I mean, something good for India, right? The Bangladesh elections. So it has been in news. Why? Because Sheikh Hasina won the election for the fifth time, the fourth consecutive time. And she is a new prime minister, or the same prime minister of the Bangladesh, of our neighboring country, Bangladesh. Awami League, the party that she heads, won 222 seats, right? There are total 300 seats plus 50 seats which are reserved for women. These people are chosen by the ruling party only, right? So, actually, the voter turnout was very low. Only around 40% people voted, and that also is not a very certain figure, because originally the election commission said that only 28% people voted, but around 40% have voted. The finalities of this are yet to be released. The original government documents, we'll have to wait for that. But also opposition parties boycotted it, especially the BNP, Bangladesh Nationalist Party. See, Awami League was established in 1949. It was in response to the Muslim League in the East Pakistan, an alternative. And under the leadership of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the party spearheaded Bangladesh's independence movement. In fact, Sheikh Hasina is Mujibur Rahman's daughter. Okay. As far as BNP is concerned, BNP was formed in 1978 by Ziaur Rahman, former army general. When he was assassinated in 1981, his wife Khalida Zia took over the party leadership uh, till she was imprisoned in 2018. She is currently under house arrest since last 4 years now, and the party is currently led by her son Tariq Rahman. He lives in London. Anyway, so some important elements here with respect to elections in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has a single chamber legislative body called Jatiya Sangsad. As I said, it has 300 members, MPs, plus 50 women representatives who are chosen by the ruling party or the ruling coalition. They follow first past the post system, just like India, right? So there are 300 constituencies, people vote, first past the post, and the winner is declared. Elections are conducted by the Election Commission. Election Commission is the body which is an independent constitutional body responsible for supervising, directing, controlling the elections in Bangladesh. Then they have adult suffrage. Adult suffrage meaning voting rights, voting for all adults. Just like India, the voting age is 18 years or above. Okay. Then the same old story, nomination of candidates happens, campaigns are there, right? There's also, just like in India, you have a campaigning amount. Can, no person can spend more than a certain amount in the campaign for the elections. Same thing happens in Bangladesh also. And if there is any dispute, the resolution is done by election commission or by judiciary later on. And unlike in India, in Bangladesh, there's a combination. In some places, ballot boxes, the old voting system is used, paper votes, and EVMs are being used in certain places now. Yes, single chamber means only one house. They have only one house, unlike in India, which has two houses, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. In Bangladesh, only Lok Sabha, no Rajya Sabha, right? That's the situation. Clear? So there is no federal setup like in India. They have their local elections, right? For local bodies like city corporation, municipalities, union councils, etc. But not like the states in India. That's not there. Just before we see, I don't want to enter the territory of international relations. That's for the IR faculty to tell you. But it has been a slightly, it's better for India, because see, Sheikh Hasina, of course, she has authoritarian tendencies, but she is regarded as a key ally of India and is preferred by Delhi for leading Bangladesh. Her connection with India dates back to 1970s, right? Where India significantly supported the Bangladeshi independence movement. And throughout her 4 terms as a prime minister, she has played a pivotal role in enhancing the relationship between India and Bangladesh, resolving border issues, boosting economic ties, aligning with India's national security concerns, etc. Right? On the other hand, Khalida Zia's leadership, the BNP, we don't view them favorably. Under their governance, Bangladesh turned into a sanctuary for terrorist factions, which were extremely hostile to India. And of course, she tolerated a lot of these Islamist radical groups also. These factions were supported by Pakistan's ISI, inflicting terror in northeastern part of the country along the Bangladesh border. And if you remember this episode that happened in 2001, when the Bangladeshi border forces attacked and killed 16 Indian BSF personnel, that happened in the BNP regime only. Contrastingly, Sheikh Hasina has worked to block ISI, has worked to block the Islamist radicals from establishing a foothold in Bangladesh. So that has been there. So this is more favorable to India compared to BNP. Anyway, and of course, uh, Western countries like USA, etc., they have come out all guns blazing that this election is a farce, etc., blah, blah, blah. That's been there. But that's the beauty of USA, right? They will perform all these out of country operations, disturbing world peace here and there, not minding their own business. Anyway, let's solve a question, a prelims practice question. Easy, simple question. Let's see whether you can get this answer right or not. Done? Oh, interesting. The voting age for elections to Lok Sabha is 18. Consider the following statements regarding elections in India at the commencement of the constitution. So we will not pay attention to these words, right? We'll do things our own way. At the commencement of the constitution, the voting age, yes or no? It was changed with the which amendment act? Some of you have mentioned it absolutely correct. 61st Amendment Act. And then mid 18. Okay. So one is wrong. Since there was no election commission, the first elections were conducted by the MHA. There was election commission. On the 25th of January 1950, election commission was established. Right? Anyway, this is also wrong. So neither 1 nor 2. Now, just to quickly summarize on the Shiv Sena conflict, the judgment came out. I'll quickly summarize. I'll go slowly but briefly on what has happened so far. Before that, you have to understand a very important element. This is a political party. Political party with all its members. Political parties have crores of members. Anybody can be a member. But some people from the political party win the election some people from the political party win the election and they are known as legislators. Those people are the legislative party. Okay, so this is called legislative party. Those party workers who are legislators. Okay, the legislative wing of the party, and this is the entire organizational wing of the party. Is this difference clear to all? So BJP has 10 crore workers. Not all of them are a part here, but those who are MPs, like say Narendra Modi, is Narendra Modi a BJP MP? Yes or no? Yes, of course. So Narendra Modi is also a part of the political party BJP and legislative party of BJP. So legislative party of BJP means those BJP members who are MPs, MLAs, MLCs. Are we clear? In a party of 10 crore people, some people get elected or nominated. Those elected nominated people are called legislative party of the main party. Okay. Anyway, the story starts in November 2019, when the MVA, Maha Vikas Agadi, formed the government. Shiv Sena, Indian National Congress, and the Nationalist Congress Party, they formed the government, much to the disliking of the BJP. Then in June 2022, suddenly what happens? Some MLAs go missing, led by Eknath Shinde. They are missing. Then stories are heard that these MLAs uh, are in Gujarat. After a few days, they are in Assam, etc. In fact, there are stories doing rounds that these MLAs were staying in some Radisson hotel in Assam, where the weekly charges were over 75 lakh rupees for all these MLAs. Anyway, that's of no concern to us, because when these charges were borne by the political party, of course ultimately these charges are borne by us only, right? Maybe not at that point of time, the political party is funding it, of course, but who is funding the political party? When the party is funding and wasting money like this, and when those people win the elections, right, then we are the ones who suffer. 10 years ago, there emerged a great leader in the country, a former civil servant, who claimed that, oh, Sarji, please give me 2 BHK house only. I will live in a 2 BHK house. I don't want a bungalow. But that fellow, the allegations are that he has spent 10 lakh rupees to build a commode, 145 crore rupees to revamp the CM's bungalow, right? Anyway, nobody in future is ever going to trust any person who comes to power like this. So you have not just cheated, breached the trust of the voter there, you have breached the trust of the coming generations also. Anyway, so this has been the situation. Now, suddenly, when these MLAs kept on, MLAs were missing, around 40 MLAs, Uddhav Thackeray, he issued, or he complained to the speaker that, speaker, these people have left the party, disqualify them. In the meantime, what happened? Eknath Shinde came and he said, he gave a notice, Eknath Shinde, to remove the speaker only. We want to remove you. Now came a problem. And Eknath Shinde approached the governor also, that, governor, we are not a part of Mahavikas Agadi. We want to join hands with BJP to form the government. Anyway, all this issue happened. Finally, Uddhav Thackeray realized and he resigned. And the matter went to Supreme Court. But the question was, who controls Shiv Sena? Because Eknath Shinde did not leave Shiv Sena. Because if any group leaves a party, we call that a split. Split is not allowed. So Eknath Shinde and the group had to leave Shiv Sena and merge with BJP. They did not merge with BJP. They only left Shiv Sena. They only allegedly left Shiv Sena. Then Eknath Shinde said, who has left Shiv Sena? Uddhav Thackeray is leaving Shiv Sena. I am the real Shiv Sena. That became the question. Who is the real Shiv Sena? The one group led by Uddhav Thackeray or the group led by Eknath Shinde? Election Commission gave the name and symbol to Eknath Shinde group. This matter was in Supreme Court. Supreme Court gave a judgment. Let's see. Real Shiv Sena, let the speaker decide. Number one. But who controls the party? The party should be controlled by that person who is the leader of the entire political party, not the leader of this small group of MLAs. Eknath Shinde controlled the MLAs of Shiv Sena, but Uddhav Thackeray was the leader of the entire political party Shiv Sena. Supreme Court said that Uddhav Thackeray, you have full authority to issue whip. And Uddhav Thackeray's complaint with speaker is pending. Decide on the complaint on disqualification. Now, when Uddhav Thackeray had given this complaint, this speaker was a previous speaker. Now we have a new speaker. So the new speaker had to decide, right? So this was a Subhash Desai case where the speaker was supposed to decide on the disqualification within reasonable time limit. And you'll be surprised to know that Supreme Court kept on giving instructions. Speaker, please decide whether you want to disqualify those MLAs or not. Speaker kept on asking for time. Supreme Court gave a deadline. By this December, please decide. Then the speaker said, sir, 15 more days, please. Supreme Court said, no. I am giving you final extension. 10th of January, please decide. So yesterday, finally, the speaker decided on that. Okay. And what was the decision? Rahul Narvekar, the speaker, says that Eknath Shinde faction is the real Shiv Sena and we are not going to disqualify any MLA. Why? Because, very simple. Shiv Sena's internal constitution, which based on which Shiv Sena functions, their internal party charter of 1999 says that whoever controls the MLAs is the real authority. In 2018, Shiv Sena had modified its internal rule book to say that the party chief, whoever is the head of the party, is the final authority. But this new rule book, new changes which were made, the Election Commission of India was not informed of these changes. So, Speaker said that if you don't inform Election Commission of the new changes you make in your party, I will have to decide based on old rules that you are still following. And as per old rules, whoever controls the legislative party, meaning the MLAs, is the real boss. So Eknath Shinde is the real boss. We can't disqualify Eknath Shinde. Sorry, that's not possible. In fact, the speaker went ahead to say that this 10th schedule, spelling problem. 10th schedule is not intended to be used as a device to be used for imposing intra-party discipline. No party leadership can use the provision of 10th schedule, that is anti-defection law, as a deterrent to curtail dissent. In your party, if some MLAs are unhappy, that's your personal problem. Don't come to speaker for anti-defection. Defection only means leaving the party. Clear? So this was a situation with respect to the speaker's order. Of course, this order will be challenged in the Supreme Court, right? Let's see what the court has to say. Anyway, 2024 is the election year in the country, and also election in Maharashtra will take place later on. See, currently the whole vibe is in favor of the BJP, right? So we are not really sure whether Uddhav Thackeray would be interested in having elections right now in Maharashtra, because if that happens, we know what will happen, right? So again, that's how it is. So this is all as far as the current situation is concerned. I hope you know the anti-defection law. It deals with disqualification. If any member leaves a party, disqualified. If you vote against the party, which is called whip. What is whip? Whip is the instruction given by the party to the members to vote in a certain direction. If you vote against the whip, disqualified. If an independent member joins some party, disqualified. If a nominated MP, MLA, MLC tries to join a party after 6 months of nomination, disqualified. And who decides? The deciding authority in all such cases is the very unbiased, very neutral presiding officer called the speaker, right? Uddhav Thackeray has not left Shiv Sena. He still claims that he is the real Shiv Sena, right? Eknath Shinde has been declared to be the real Shiv Sena. Same thing for NCP also. See, nowadays people have come to know that if I leave my party, that's a split. Split is not allowed. So everybody is claiming that I am the real boss in the party. I am the real party. Okay. So this is the issue. And see, Uddhav Thackeray, the whole question was Uddhav Thackeray had appointed a whip. Eknath Shinde also appointed a different whip. Who has the right to appoint the whip? Whoever is the leader of the party. So Supreme Court said that the leader of the party is Uddhav Thackeray, but Speaker has said that the leader of the party is Eknath Shinde. Uh, okay. Tell us something about Office of Whip. Some Hariom and Muskan. What is a whip? Innocent questions, right? Like in Mahabharat. After all, who is Arjun? Whip is basically an instruction given by the party to vote in a particular direction, and the person who enforces this direction is also called a whip or a chief whip. This post is not mentioned anywhere, but we have borrowed this post from UK. Okay, whips can be of multiple categories: single line whip, double line whip, triple line whip, etc. See, Pulkit, the point is that Eknath Shinde rebelled, but he controlled the MLAs, majority MLAs. So that is a question. Who has a right to issue whip? Uddhav Thackeray or Eknath Shinde? So now the speaker has said Eknath Shinde is the real leader. Okay. Solve this question. Came 2 years ago in the prelims 2022. Quickly. Easy question. 45 seconds. Let's see how many of you get this right. Office of Whip is not a constitutional post. No sanskar. He has already been allocated a separate symbol. So that point is solved now. A lot of you got this correct. The law specifies that a nominated legislator cannot join any party within 6 months. No, he cannot join after 6 months. One is wrong. Lastly, the law does not provide any time frame within which the presiding officer has to decide. Of course, absolutely correct. That's the biggest loophole in the law. No time frame, and the speaker takes his complete on his discretion, ample time. Okay. Sneha, that is what I explained. Why has Uddhav Thackeray, why has the speaker said something exactly opposite? Maximum punishment for whip? What punishment for whip? There is no punishment for whip. Disqualification is the only punishment. And a simple mains-based question analyzing the impact of anti-defection law in India, discuss its effectiveness in curbing political defections and its implication, talk about the enactment of the law, the purpose of the law, success in reducing defections, the democratic implications, the criticism of whip gagging, right? Stifling debate, discussions, etc., impact on the individual MP, MLA, MLC, centralizing the power at the hands of the party leader only, right? Need for reform, uh, whatever changes are required to improve the law, filling in, plugging in the loopholes, all such things. No, Kennedy, that is an ideal time frame. The law does not decide any time frame. Supreme Court judgment in the Kesham Meghchand Singh case gives an ideal time frame. Okay, last topic today. Prerna, an experiential learning program. So basically, the Department of School Education and Literacy under Ministry of Education has launched a program called Prerna, aiming to offer, meaningful, unique, and inspiring experience to all the participants, instilling a leadership quality in those kids. This is not meant for you guys, okay? Don't get excited. It is only meant for school students from 9th to 12th. Do we have school students here, class 9 to class 12th? Anyone here? Oh, of course, as usual. Some school students are there. Then you are eligible for class 9th. Oh, we have class 9 student also. Anybody below class 9th? No one. Or some of you are in class 9th and class 10th. Then we are talking about class 6. No, class, I don't think class 6. Come on, Kunal, be serious. Class 6, I don't trust you. We are talking about a lot of sensitive issues here. I mean, class 9 students and 8 students. I should keep a check on this. Anyway, we should be very careful in using words now. That's the beauty of UPSC, right? 30-year-old studying with 20-year-old. So we say that when you clear the examination, normally 10th, 12th, your parents congratulate you. But in UPSC, when you clear the examination, your kids will congratulate you. Right? Papa, mommy, great, you have cleared. Yeah, that's how it is. Anyway, okay, coming back here now. So this is a week-long residential program for selected students, which will combine heritage with innovation, right? Inspirational learning. What's the selection process? Sign up on the portal. You have the portal called prerna.education.gov.in. prerna.education.gov.in. On that, you can log in, or in your school, if you have the Prerna Utsav programs, get selected through that, participate and win the seat there. And from every district, 2 students will be chosen, 1 boy, 1 girl. Now, please don't ask me, sir, but in USA we have so many genders. What about other genders? As of now, this is a scheme and program. Okay, please. This is not USA, it is India. We only have 3 genders as of now. Then the features. So we'll have batch of 20 students selected every week to attend the program. And what is the location of the program? This building. It's a heritage building. This is a vernacular school, Vadnagar in Gujarat. This school was formed in 1888. Can you tell me something special about this school in Vadnagar in Gujarat? Our great honorable Prime Minister studied in this school, right? Birthplace of Prime Minister and not the birthplace of Prime Minister. He studied here. Okay. Why will he be born in a school? But anyway. So yes, PM Narendra Modi studied in this school only. So now this is a prerna for the coming generations. So all the class 9, 10th, 11th students, come on, apply and go here. So what? And the curriculum for the 7 days is prepared by IIT Gandhinagar. So what is going to be the activity? On a daily basis? You will have yoga, mindfulness, experiential learning, interactive sessions. In the evening, you will have site visits, films, talent shows, comprehensive education, right? So blending traditional wisdom with modern technology and motivational insights. Prerna is inspiration. Just like our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who also has traditional wisdom, who is highly tech savvy and has motivational insight. He loves giving speeches to kids on how to prepare for examinations, etc. Okay, so guys, if you know, I'm being serious here. Motivational speeches by our great leaders. Sir, if Prerna is here, where is Anurag? What is this some serial joke? Guys, if you're watching such natak on television, it is disheartening. Please. Okay. So there are 9 themes along which the kids will be trained. Swabhiman, meaning self-respect, and Vinay. Vinay means humility, something which our PM, of course, has, right? Shaurya, bravery, and Sahas, courage. Shaurya is bravery, right? Courage. If you read, there's a small booklet also, a comic book, Bal Narendra Modi, where he, I think, when he was a small kid, he caught a crocodile. That's there. Anyway, then Parishram and Samarpan will be taught to kids. Hard work, Parishram. Samarpan is dedication, devotion. Karuna and Seva. Karuna means compassion, kindness. Seva is service. Vividta, diversity. Ekta, unity. Satyanishtha, honesty or integrity. That is very, very important. Like our politicians who are full of Satyanishtha, honesty and integrity, right? And also Shuchita, meaning purity, cleanliness. Then Navachar, meaning innovation, and Jigyasa, curiosity. Shraddha means reverence, faith, Vishwas, trust or belief that we have on the politicians. And of course, Swatantrata, that is independence and freedom, and Kartavya. Kartavya is duty and responsibility. So along these 9 themes, we'll be instilling on in these kids, right? 20 students every week will suffer. I mean, we'll learn all these 9 themes, and we'll integrate these themes into day-to-day activities. Clear? Are we all okay with this scheme? No sense of appreciation at all. Okay, great. So I hope you like the scheme. And of course, see, if some of you are of that age, please join the scheme, learn these skills, come out as better civil servants, and don't run away. Please solve this last prelims based question. Good night. Already good night. Wait. Please solve this question. 45 seconds. Last question of the day. Let's hope. Yes, yes. Our PM has also been to Man versus Wild. He's a brave person. He's courageous as a person. Of course. Absolutely correct. Guys, please don't force me to saying certain things because I don't want ED raids in my house, right? So please. Tejas, even when direct life imprisonment is given, no problem. Then also. A lot of you got this correct. The scheme has been launched by Ministry of Women and Child Development is wrong. Actually, the scheme has been launched by Ministry of Education. 1 is wrong. 2 is correct. Right? The purpose of this scheme is to integrate the principles of Indian education system and the philosophy of the value-based education. Right? That's it for today. Did we have 6 questions today? Okay, 6 questions today. Lekha, Dheeraj, Labdi, Bhagat, Dhyana, Shivaji, Saurabh, Sanjana, Vikram, and Kambapati. All of you are the toppers for the day, right? Normally in the offline class, I give chocolates to toppers. Those who have taken my offline class would know this. But sadly, in the online class, don't ask for GPay, etc. No GPay, no courier, nothing. Once we meet, you can show the screenshot and I owe you a chocolate. Okay? Okay, so that is going to be all for today, guys. I hope you had a great session today. Please study, revise well, right? And we'll meet next in the next session on polity. Till then, that is all for me. Jai Hind.